Coach, there have been some reports that Alex Sarama is going to be the next head coach of the Portland Fire. What has he meant to this team, and what would that kind of mean for you guys?
I mean, yeah, I think it came out officially. Am I correct? So
Yes.
congrats to him. Great opportunity. He's obviously a big part of our coaching staff. Much like Jordan Ott was and Damari, and we've lost some staff, but I look at it from a positive standpoint. It's a little bit the price of success. People are gonna to look to hire people from your staff, and for Alex is a great opportunity. He will stay the season with us. He's not like leaving tomorrow, so that was kind of the agreement with that. But we're gonna miss him. He's added a lot to the group, but like I said, he's not leaving tomorrow. Like we didn't. Again, I think we came to that agreement where, didn't want to kind of mess with kind of what we got and all we prepared and all that.
You mentioned that being the price of success. When you were first getting into coaching and thinking about being a head coach, do you ever envision like a coaching tree and how much that mattered to you?
Never envisioned it. I told the players yesterday, it's really about choosing the right organization and the right team. There's a lot of good coaches in this league, and again, it's really, when this happens, it's a team success. But on the other hand, Chris, you're proud when people from your staff get promotions and have an ability to advance their careers. Now, I am very competitive, so I would like to keep them all. Like I'll go the other way. Like I'm like, how could you leave this situation? Like we have we have a great, so you play that's your first emotion, then you're like, moment, we gotta, this is a free world, and we have to celebrate people getting promotions and advancing their career. So you
speak a little further into what he's meant to this organization. We've seen him a lot out here working as a shooter, a director of player development, now an assistant coach, now going to be a head coach. About his trajectory.
Listen, I think he's helped all of us get better. Like he's someone that challenges traditional thinking. He has implemented science-based kind of teaching. So I think he's educated players, educating the coaching staff, and has just done a great job, and will continue to this year. And then, it's going to be really kind of great to watch him spread his wings. And it is different, right? Like I think when you're an assistant, your goal is always to be the head coach, right? And wherever it is, and this is an expanding global game. It's not just in the life just isn't in the NBA. There's a lot of opportunities there. And I think we're going to see this going forward, right? There's going to be real competition for NBA coaching talent. We see coaches leaving for college. We lost one this year. One of our head video guy got a great opportunity, be in the Big East, be on the front of the bench. It's like, well, do I stay in my position here or so this is just kind of the new reality. But we have to have, and I think we do have in place, a succession plan, right? So you say, well, who's going to do it? You'd like to. We have a lot of young talent, coaching talent in our building, so we'll be able to move forward, and we've promoted already a ton of people to new roles, and we'll continue to do so.
How are your mentals a week out from the season starting? What does your mental preparation look like?
Yeah, maybe it's almost like training camp fatigue. Like you're like, this is like the right timing for this to get going. I think our guys are a little, you know, they need this regular season stimulation. So we're excited. We had a good intra-squad scrimmage today, and that was good. So we blew it out a little bit, and then we'll start regular season prep early next week.
With a season under your belt, is there anything different that you do to prepare for the season? Like, what's your ratio to apprehension, excitement, and management?
Yeah, I think it's stick with my routine, but I do feel like year two I've stepped back in terms of giving more responsibility to the staff, kind of saying less. I kind of coach them, in our meetings, but I think once we step out on the court, maybe last season I was a little more hands-on. This season, taking a step back because our assistants, our support staff knows me better, and I just kind of feel like, go do your thing. I interject sometimes, but definitely taking a step back in that sense.
Kenny, whether it was the off-season or training camp or even the last couple of games of the preseason, what do you sense from Donovan in terms of his focus for this coming season?
I feel like he's got more of an edge than last year. And he's always locked in. He's always prepped. He's always doing. But there is a little, I see a little more fire. Like I just feel it. And that's saying something because he is always pretty he's just pretty much always focused. But I just feel like a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder.
You've talked about DeAndre's comfort level a lot over the past couple of weeks. What areas on the field have you noticed him be more comfortable than he was last year?
I think where I'm seeing, I know his numbers were really good in the preseason, right? Like offensively, but I'm really seeing the defensive comfort, especially as we're promoting a little more aggressive style of defensive basketball. I think that fits him. It fits him better, and that was part of the thinking, how we can shift this a little more to be a little more proactive defensively, and that's been where I've been pleased the most with him.
How much of wanting him to be more aggressive defensively has to do with having Evan or Jared behind him?
Yeah, no, that's a factor. That's definitely a factor, and then I think trying to create more opportunities off our defense, and obviously we got the rim protectors, but I think, those guys were a little more back. I think we're not going crazy. We're not extreme, but it's just we want to turn our kind of level up of and everything. So, is that ball pressure? It's not ball. It's like everything. It's all where it's not like one thing. Like, hey, you're doing this, so. Only this. It's like, man, this, and this equals more active, more aggressive.
But it was also noticeable during the preseason that you did have guys picking up full court. And you did that a little bit in the playoffs last year, and obviously Indiana did that as well. Do you think that becomes the next trend in the NBA? Do you think that can be done consistently in the NBA?
Yes, I do. I think it is. I don't know if trends are. It's just the intensity level overall has been raised defensively. And we'll see how long it lasts. Obviously, you got to do that, but still stay healthy, right? Like, intensity. You just got to be smart how you do it. I think what you see with us, or I think it's our role players, that's kind of the ask, because they're not playing 35 minutes a game. It's hard there's very few guys in the league that can do that for 35 minutes, especially if it's your high usage guys on offense. So the Jalens, the CPs, the Tyreses, those guys, you're playing 12 minutes a game. We kind of ask them more of them in terms of not necessarily just picking up full court, just overall intensity, playing at a higher level.
given his potential expanded role, can you ask Sam to do those kinds of things? Or
Yeah, we got to find that's a great question, Chris, because that's where we've had those discussions, especially, with him starting now as like, I think he lands somewhere in between, right? I don't think we can ask him to do it, for 30 minutes a game, but he can pick his spots. So yeah, that's a really good question.
You talk about training camp and the team. Is this team where you had hoped it would be, where you would expect it to be 5 days out from the tip-off of the season?
Yeah, I mean, taking out the injury part, right? Because that changes things. So, in terms of who we have healthy and what that looks like, I'm pretty pleased with the tweaks we've made and how they've applied those tweaks. But again, I keep saying this is going to be a different version. Right? We're not throwing out the same version. We because of the personnel, the guys out that we started game one with last year. It's just not. We got to adjust to the guys we have out there. And that's including down the line, right? Because Lonzo and Larry and TB, that's different. Last year was, George Yang and Karras and different types of players. So I think I'm pleased where we're at, but it's not going to look exactly the same.
In terms of those young players that you just mentioned with Jalen, CP, Tyrese, is it more of a mental thing for them to adjust to playing rotational minutes, or is it an on-court development thing that gets them up to speed to be able to do that?
I think we've prepared them for it. Like, we kind of knew, like, especially knowing DG was going to be out, and then we had to we said, as a staff, we're like, we got to prepare these guys for these roles. So that was very intentional. They're role players. It's a different type of coaching. It's a different type of development mentality because you need to get them to fit those roles. So and then we'll see. Right now they jump in a game. What does that look like? But we were really focused on getting them to do our role player principles and things.